And we're alive.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Yeah, this is good morning. Good morning with no sleep right now. What this is.
Oh, you're boring with no sleep.
Wonder who's gonna tune in on a Thursday morning. It's 8:12 a.m. on a Thursday morning.
Hopefully,
I
we'll get
want
some British viewers. It's 1 p.m. here.
either that, Australian people pop in at the weirdest times. I always, we always, there's always somebody out here. Bro. There's always somebody out here like in some time zone that can catch this show live.
it's it's because MGTOW's worldwide.
That's right. I gotta get everyone's Discord.
Hey, start building that network back up.
Yeah, I told you what happened. I told the viewers, I told you, but anyone who doesn't know, so so my old Discord, that's a distant memory. That shit got wiped off the face of the earth. And so did all my contacts. And so did my group. My group, my contacts, everybody and everything on my old fucking Discord because of some stupid group, that I was in. That's what they that's what they emailed me was
Guilt
was the
by
reason
association.
why. Yeah, pretty much.
Guilt by association. Unbelievable.
Yeeted by association.
Yeeted. I love that saying. I need to use that more often. I was almost ye-
Vindicated,
I was almost yeeted off YouTube. I love saying it.
obliterated by association.
Obliterated. Man, yeah, backstage, man, we was talking about how closely related MGTOW is to the truth.
Oh, it's truth.
Yeah, yeah, and how that a lot of MGTOWs don't realise that the truth that they're looking into and has been spouting out about, and they're learning about is already being learnt by the truth community. And I was trying to like say how closely related they really are.
Yeah, because because red pill and MGTOW are almost synonymous.
Hmm.
The only thing is, the only thing is, some red pill they'll try to emphasize, you know, um, holding masculine frame.
Yeah,
Me-
they're promoting the culture that's been fed to us at birth. That they're just exacerbating the problem that already exists.
Meanwhile, meanwhile, if your wife wakes up out of bed 3 in the morning, gets on the phone with the cops, and the cops show up, and the cops show up to your front door, and she opens the door, and she opens the door, and she lets them in. I want to see you hold that masculine frame that you've been talking about. I want to see this. I want to see. I mean, you can still hold the masculine frame as they're cuffing you,
But,
and either leading or forcing you out the door.
but you know what you got to do, don't you, to get married? What do you have to do to a woman? What do you do with a woman when you ask her to get married? You bend down on a knee. You bow down to her.
You bend the knee.
You bend the knee. You submit to the woman. And it should be the other way around.
Put her on a pedestal.
Hmm
You submit.
It's inbred into our culture, and like the whole part of the red pill and MGTOW is waking up men from these little things and these little brainwashed cultured things that we do subconsciously we're not even aware about.
Oh, it's funny, man. About
It's quite a lot. Carry on, bro.
yeah, yeah. Too many things to pick.
Yeah,
Too many things to
exactly.
pick. Too many things to pick. But what I was gonna say, I was gonna mention about a month ago. About a, I decided. About a month ago, I decided to focus more on the jab and
Mm.
more on CTs. You know what CTs are?
Uh, no, but if you can elaborate without being tri- YouTube triggered, and carry on.
Con theory.
Say that again.
Con theory.
Contiri. Okay, no. Would Google tell me?
What does Alex J talk about? Con dot 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 theory.
Oh, Siri. Oh, I thought you were saying it with a T.
Con
Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
con
I got
theory.
you. Yeah,
CT.
yeah.
So we're gonna so the jab. So the jab and con theory stuff.
Mhm.
So got an audience already. Shinobi's from Australia, or actually New Zealand.
Oh, I thought
So I
I thought it
told
was
you,
from I thought it was from Pluto.
yeah, New Zealand. So I forget what time it is. They're like 15, 16 hours ahead.
Mhm.
So that would make it. I think it's about midnight over there. I think. Red. Don't know where Red's from.
I
Don't know
think that's
where
from the
Red's from.
UK.
And I think he came. I think he came from Rebel. He came from Rebel Against Defeats channel. But yeah, we got some comments. Red's from the UK. Let's see. So Shizzle popped in. He said respect, but
Right.
that comment is gone on the StreamYard. Maybe it's still up on YouTube. Let's see. Red with a greeting. What's up, Red? Good afternoon for you.
Shinobi come from Uranus and they kicked him out.
Still, still well into the morning over here. Still well into the morning. 8:21 right now, right this second. Shield.
Yeah, then Midlands. You know, I'm from the Midlands as well, Red.
Was that
West
right in the
Midlands.
middle of the country?
Yep, I'm from the West Midlands. Of course, I reckon Red's pretty local. Recognise my accent off the word go.
I'm gonna look at the map real quick. Because how much water is inside England?
Inside England. I won't
You know,
imagine a
rivers and
lot.
shit.
Not
Not
that
even
much.
rivers. Not
There
even
is there
rivers,
is
like
there is a few rivers that run all the way through it. To be fair,
lakes and shit, maybe.
yeah, you got this River Severn. The River Severn literally runs right by me, and it goes all the way to London.
Hold on, before I get to there, see some stuff over here. Wonder if this is like Arctic shit. It probably is Arctic shit because I don't see any roads. But I mean, this okay, United Kingdom. Yeah, there's not a whole. What's this? Rutland, Rutland water.
Rutland. I've heard of Rutland.
Do you know a lot of the cities in the UK?
I should do, yeah, but there's so many weird names, and it's so expansive. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I travelled the UK up and down for work for 10 years, so I like to think I've got a grasp.
Grafham,
Grafham.
Grafham. What's this?
Never heard of Grafham. That might be a small town, maybe. I don't know. Might not be. Might be a town. If you could name a bigger town or city near it, then I know where in the UK you're on about.
I gotta find it again.
No, always, man. It's not that important.
Let's see, but okay, so this. Okay, okay, there is a city. There is a city. I'm called Grafham.
Hey, Sifu, welcome.
Great Staunton,
Staunton. I've worked it.
Easton, East, Elling, Easton, Ellington, Spaldwick,
Stoldy. I
Catworth.
know Gatworth. I know them
It says
three.
Catworth.
Oh, Catworth.
What up,
Gatworth.
Sifu? Yeah, Cat. Cat.
Catworth. Catworth. I don't think I've been to a Catworth.
Old
No.
Weston.
Yeah. I've been Old Western.
I'm just reading cities as I see them.
If there's a
Sifu's half
rock,
awake.
if there's a rock bar in that city, then I've most likely might have been there.
Sifu's half awake. I might be going to sleep soon. I don't know. I'm like half an hour, 1 hour max, maybe 1 hour max. I might push myself, but I don't know. Today's kind of fucked. To be honest.
Yeah, I think backstage we started gaining little momentum about how relatable the truth movement and MGTOW are. They're like brother and sister because the red pill is truth, isn't it? Hang on, I need a cough 1 sec.
You know a place named Coventry?
I live by Coventry. I was my last band was based in Coventry. That's where my last manager was from. Coventry.
There's a city named Rugby.
Yep.
I got a couple of comments up here I skipped, but I'm gonna get to Sifu's.
Same for you with seafood. Yeah, well, seafood. I think the black pill is just a darker shade of red. You just say it's black because it's all truth, isn't it? It's just a darker, deeper truth. So I think
Shinobi's
that's
also
why.
from the middle of his country.
Hmm.
Shinobi's from the middle of New Zealand. Red is smack bang in the middle. Yeah. If you got nuked, it would take out 3 major cities.
I'm trying to think where that is in the Midlands. So I'm by 2 major cities.
I think I said Grantham. Or Grantham. Grantham.
Grantham.
Grantham.
Grantham. I'd pronounce that Grantham.
They got a
Yeah,
bunch
hard.
of hams. I figured it might be a ham. But it's
Mm-hmm.
probably Grantham. It's probably Grantham, but could be Grantham. Who the fuck knows? But let's see.
Hey, bro,
Yeah, I
CC.
was
Yeah,
gonna.
man. I
Are
I
you reading
agree
the
with it.
comments with me?
Oh yeah, sorry. You carry on then if you're reading the comments. Yeah. I'm ahead. Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I'm just
What are you watching? But are you looking at the comments too?
Yeah, my bad. I'm ahead. Yeah, I'll let you carry on.
All right. So Sifu says to the host, to me. He says, "I hope you are moving towards your destiny, regardless of obstacles. And while there are obstacles, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm not just making an argument, just to make an argument. I'm making an argument just for the sake of, of the argument. But I don't believe in destiny. Every man tries to carve his own path. I don't think that anyone is destined. I don't think that anything is destined, to turn out a certain way because everybody can take action,
Mm-hmm.
in their own way. Everybody
Thanks.
could take action. Like for example, let's take somebody in history. Take Joseph Stalin with his gulags and making the Soviet Union. If he was like 5 years old, he was like 5 years old. He was like five, and somebody decided to take action and just pull out a pistol, and blow his brains out. History would be changed, forever. If somebody would have done that. That's why I don't believe. That's why I don't believe in destiny. Like, you hear about serial killers, right? Serial killers and shit. Like, was Jack the Ripper? Jack the Ripper's from. Is he from England?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. So let's say that Jack the Ripper was in wherever Stalin was born in Georgia,
Mm,
and he sees this young Georgian boy. He's this young Georgian boy,
okay. Okay.
and he says, "Let me start my killing spree here." And he blows a 5-year-old Joseph Stalin's, you know, you know, um, cranial matter. He blows his cranial matter all over the sidewalk. Who knows how
Well,
the world would turn out?
well, I think you have a point because the etymology of the word destiny actually is tracked back to French, destiny, which means Destine, with the
And
mark
that
above
probably
it.
comes from Latin.
Yeah, and it means purpose, intent, fate. And
Well,
also the other part of it
well,
is
fate and purpose aren't synonymous.
yeah, and it it was originally coming from the irresistible tendency of certain events to come about, but the sense is of that which has been firmly established as by fate. So destiny means by something that You can't escape, basically. Something that's firm and established. And so the question is, if destiny is real, if we're all there to, I'm not destroying anything you're saying, Seafield. I'm just breaking the actual word destiny down. So if we all have
You
this
know,
end, if we all this end point to go, can we actually be derailed from it? And then does that actually make it destiny? Then, if we can be derailed from the end point, is it then destiny? That's the question.
do you know, Big John? Do you know MGTOW is freedom? Now he's the prepared mind.
Yeah,
Big John.
I've been sub to him for a very long time. Yeah, he's big. He's pretty good on BitChute. He's been on there a while.
Did you watch him? Did you watch him when he was MGTOW is freedom?
Yep.
Back when he was MGTOW is freedom, he made his 30, 40 minute videos. Some of them
Yeah,
was
I
he
was
made
watching him making those videos behind his counter at work and stuff while he was still working.
yeah, that and um in his trailer.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah, his
was
trailer
like somewhere in
and
his living room.
his truck. He used to go out with his truck now and again as well.
Yeah, he'd be in the driver's seat.
Yeah, yeah. He used to sit down and have a whiskey and a cigar
He would be in a lawn chair, yeah, having the whiskey and cigar.
with his sunglasses and his short, spiky blonde hair.
Yeah. Yeah, but he mentioned on his channel recently, and he's into this shit hit the fan stuff.
Yeah,
He's into this shit hit the fan, and
yeah.
he was the motivation, or he came up with the title, and I was like, you know what, hey, shit hit the fan. It's a great title,
It is.
great tag, yeah,
It's fantastic.
because shit is hitting the fan.
So he's the one that actually made that shit. It's a fan tag.
I didn't hear too much about it.
Me neither.
Well,
Because
he didn't.
I actually got it from
He
him
did,
as well. So
well, he definitely didn't create the phrase "shit hit the fan." I mean, "shit hit the fan's" been around probably for hundreds of years,
yeah, yeah,
maybe
yeah.
but but he's the first one who's put it on YouTube, put it in his titles. He's referring to to all this jab shit, to all those Billy G Depop shit.
Mm-hmm.
If you talk about it, manly.
He's heavily into it.
If you talk about the jab, Billy G, Depop, can you use words along those lines and not say the actual the actual word?
Well, he's not on
Or try.
YouTube. He doesn't have to worry about that. But in our case, we can, but we have to be very careful and tactful.
No,
It's
he's
pretty
on YouTube
difficult.
with. He's on
Oh,
you.
he's on YouTube now, is he?
No, Big John. Big John's got 80,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Mm.
Big John,
I, I didn't even
under
know. I didn't even know he was on YouTube.
under the prepared mind.
Didn't even know he was on YouTube. I follow him on BitChute.
If you type in
I'll look.
MGTOW,
Yeah,
if you
I'll
type
look
in
for him now, buddy.
MGTOW is freedom, if you type in MGTOW is freedom in the search bar on YouTube, prepared mind will come up. His channel will come up. Last time I did it, so. The red pill brings freedom. The black pill reveals truth. Maybe it could be the other way around too. There's red pill truths. But the thing about the red pill.
Unsanely here, this video.
Oh no! Why is it gone to Sandman? What the hell? I
Type
didn't
in
click on
MGTOW
that.
is freedom.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's why, because that's his word. No, he's not coming up at all. MGTOW is
Well,
freedom.
let me see what happens on my.
Problem is, I've noticed. Hang on, let me try a different search engine. I've noticed Google and DuckDuckGo have been heavily censoring me because I've been using other
No, it
search
doesn't.
engines.
No, it doesn't
Okay.
come up anymore. Maybe a month ago when I typed it in, it did, but now it doesn't.
Oh, fuck hell. Cool.
But if I type in,
Right, okay, go to
MGTOW absolute knowledge.
Yeah, go to dogpile.com. If you use dogpile, Dogpile, and you put MGTOW is food, and Big John comes up number 1, the first search result. Dogpile.com. Very good search engine, uncensored, unregulated. It doesn't filter the search like DuckDuckGo or Google. You'll know the difference straight away. Dogpile.com. The first result.
To my audience, get those likes up, please and thank you. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to dissect here, but I claim red and black pill knowledge both. I claim both of them. Black pill says what?
I'd say, in my opinion, they're both the same. Just one's deeper than the other.
Black pill. Here's the thing. If you're hideous and you're like 4'5", it's gonna be hard for you to pull some pussy. I don't care if you're master and ruler of the world. I don't care if you're a rock star. I don't care if you're an athlete, and I don't know what kind of athlete you're gonna be at 4'5". But
well,
and not to pick on anybody.
Yeah.
And not to pick on anybody who's on the shorter side, or 4'5" for that matter. Like, not to pick on anybody who's around the 4'5" mark. But I mean, let's be real. Let's be black pill. About it. Maybe actually the novelty factor that might work to your advantage because maybe they have a midget fetish. Maybe they have a midget fetish.
Okay,
So, but anyway, status plays a role.
What? Your stance is a rejection of philosophy like Calvinism. I don't know what Calvinism is, but I wonder if you've just realised what you've just said to me, Sifu. You've actually said that I reject the love of wisdom, because that's what philosophy means. It derives from Greek.
I think you're like 4 lines down.
And so no, I don't reject the love of wisdom. I love wisdom, Sifu. So I'm,
I think you're 4 lines ahead. I think you're 4 lines down. I'm still.
Oh, am I?
Let's see. Yeah, you're like
oh,
1, 2,
oh,
3.
shit. Yeah.
You're like 4 lines ahead of what I'm. But I was about to move on, but so any more thoughts on red and black pill? Red and black pill.
They're both the same, man. It's like, but basically,
not really. Well, here, I was telling you the hard truths. The hard truths. If you're a red pillar, nah, man, you need that alpha dominant frame at 4'5". At 4'5", if you have that alpha dominant frame at 4'5", you'll pull any bitch.
Not really. I know a few alphas that have the
Yeah.
dry periods and have their little dry spells. But what I'm getting at is that when you're black pill, all that means is you've took enough red pills to take you to another level. It doesn't mean you're any
No, well, I
different
mean,
to the red pill, but because
but
don't forget the red pill turns being coerced by blue pillars. So when
there
I
are some
mention red,
distinct
when I
differences.
say when I say red pill, I mean real red pill, the truth.
What the fuck is the fake red pill? I'm talking about
The
because
POAs,
supposedly
you know the POAs.
the,
They say they're
the
red pill, and
POA is kind of blue or purple pill. POA
yeah,
is blue and
that's what I
purple
meant.
pill. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm on about, bro.
because those are the those are the four main pills. I mean, there's also gold pill,
hmm
white pill, dog pill.
Dog pill. What's dog pill?
other slangs. The slangs.
Oh,
And
got ya. Yeah, yeah,
variations. Dog pill. It means it means that there's a lot of women that a they would rather buy a dog. They would rather buy a dog and maybe even have some kind of quote unquote um consensual relationship with their dog rather than mating with an incel, rather than hooking up with an incel, dating an incel, stringing along an incel. Maybe they'll string along an incel, but they would rather buy a dog and let that dog um and let that dog slurp its peace sleeve instead of
Slurp.
they would rather let the dog slurp the peace sleeve than settle for an incel, basically. And some
Got ya.
incels
Got ya.
today,
Got ya.
and because of dating apps, and because of social media, because of technology,
Hey.
because of social media, because of technology in general. I mean, women's looks match. Their looks match. If a girl is a 4, let's say that the girl is a 4, she's not going to settle for a 4, 5, and 6 in today's world. If it was 50 years ago,
hmm
if it was 50 years ago, she would find her look max. She'd find a 5 or a 6 and be ecstatic. She'd be like, "Oh, I found a 6
hmm
who loves my ugly ass."
Well, I can explain
Now
it. I can explain how that happened in Britain, but maybe you can
I can
explain
explain that too.
how you can explain that in USA. In Britain, it all started with this. Big Brother, don't you? Reality TV and all that stuff. Because it was sort of a bit of a problem in UK before, but when all this Big Brother stuff and this reality TV stuff, the media started thrusting all these stupid people in mainstream TV, in public view, and millions and like almost the entire country was watching this absolute dreadful, horrible show of these horrible people living together and putting them through horrible, nasty tasks, right? And then the country got addicted to it, and year, and then more of these reality TV shows get popping up, and the normal average Joe now can be a celebrity. That created the rise in self-importance and narcissism. And so when you increase all those bad behaviors and that egotistical id thinking, then id thinking, ego thinking, then naturally the public starts grasping all these things that help them be more narcissistic. They help them, that encourages them. So then you've got all this technology that's designed not to help us communicate, but actually disassociate us from each other by being online because of our need to look good rather than be good.
Yeah. Besides the fact that it's giving women real options, and it's giving top 10%ers, um, even the, here's even the top 10% men though,
Interesting.
they have to. I bet you, I bet you a 4 on Tinder can get some D. I bet you, actually, better yet, I bet you a 6. I bet you a 6 on Tinder. Bet you a 6 can get some D
I'd
easier
say a
than a 10 out
4.
of 10 male.
I'd say a 4. Oh no. No, you know what? I'd disagree. Like I think a 10 out of 10 male. You know, from my experience, they literally just pick who they want to be with.
Yeah, if
Literally,
he's super
10
giga
out of 10.
Chad.
I'd say a 9 out of 10s. 10, yeah, 9 out of 10s. I'd
Yeah,
say, but I'd allow it down to 1. That's
yeah,
my point of view, bro.
yeah, if he's super giga Chad. And here's the thing about the black pill: it's not points of view. It's cold hard facts. You know, across the board.
But here's the thing with the Giga Chad. Even though he can pick the crop he's picking from is bad. So that's the irony of the situation. Anyway, just clear off.
Yeah, like a 6 out of 10 chick. 6 out of 10 will get some D easier than a 10 out of 10 male. Can almost guarantee. Can find some dude who will bang easier, faster and easier than a subpar chick. Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know if it's a different culture over there because I do know you're a lot more sexual over in USA. Over in Britain, where like we don't have these like universities, we don't have these camps where you stay over. That's more for people who come from abroad. So we
Yeah,
have a
bars
very
and clubs.
yeah we do, but they're not very active since the credit crunch in early 2000s. I think it was 2006. I can't don't quote me. But so we have a very sexual suppressed culture anyway. So we're not as sexual as the other countries. So
You got
we've all
prostitutes.
no that's how suppressed we are. We're not even that sexual. So
Well, but you're saying it's uncommon or it's rare or it just is like
oh,
almost zero.
it's black market. It does exist, obviously, but it's black market. You know, it's not like round every corner. It's only in heavily densely populated or run down or druggies. You know, in low areas. It's not prevalent everywhere. Homelessness is more worse than prostitution.
Okay, but
That's getting a bit. That's
but the
becoming a
fact is
real problem in UK homelessness.
the fact is it exists. You know, it does exist.
Oh yeah, it does. It does exist, but but you got to understand that the culture in the UK is not sexual at all. It's very
What's the
sexually
penalty?
suppressed.
What's the what's the penalty for getting arrested for prostitution? If you know.
I don't know the penalty. From my understanding, the penalty is more for the punter, the person who buys the prostitute. I think the prostitute she does
Which is
get.
retarded.
Yeah, I think she does get fined. Probably is a job. I'll look into it, and they'll probably have to go through some social care thing paid by the taxpayer, and they'll come out and do the same thing again. So that's where all the taxpayers goes. It goes onto the useless crap.
You're responding to Steve comment. Problem with nihilism. Sometimes it's like you lose all hope, you know, and lose all motivation with nihilistic thinking. Actually, gonna look up, the official definition. Let's see. Hit that like button, people. I only see one like on the video, and I've seen like 8 or 10 people in here.
Yeah. So
I've seen it rise
yeah.
to like 8. I've seen it rise to 8. So, and I don't know if it's the same 8 people. I only got one like, and that shit ain't adding up.
Hey, did you know 12% of prostitutes in the UK were men?
12% of males are
Yeah.
prostitutes.
Yeah, 12%. All the prostitutes that got prosecuted, 12% of them were men.
Damn, YouTube's coming after me, bro. YouTube
And
is coming after me.
it's classed as curb
Dude.
crawling.
Dude, I just lost 2 subscribers after I posted this video, and I doubt there's people that they're maybe I said something that offended somebody,
Now you know what
but I doubt.
bro. Do you want my honest opinion? I honestly think it's me. There's a few people that are not liking me right now. I know who they are, and I'm playing them up. And there's a few people that don't like me for their own reasons, and they're probably a guilt with association. But that's all it is, man. So don't think about it. It's probably all crap about me. I'm rustling a lot of feathers
Ricardo
right now, bro. I'm rustling a lot of feathers.
Ricardo Rodney says he sees 4. Yeah, I mean, who knows? But I think it's probably. I I think
I
it's the
don't think it.
YouTube algo.
No, I don't think it's to do with you, bro.
I think it's the YouTube algo. I wasn't saying it was me specific or you, but I'm saying it could be.
No, it could be. You're right. You're right. Okay, yeah, fair enough.
It could be, but more than likely, it's the it's the YouTube algo. And let me get through these comments.
Yeah, I apologise,
But,
Mac, man. It's like a whirlwind of shit. She seems to be following me everywhere I go. So,
I was about to. Nihilism, like it means there's no hope. Like nihilism, there's no purpose. Okay, the rejection of all religious and moral principles. Extreme skepticism, maintaining that nothing in the world has a real existence. Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing. I took a dump in the toilet.
go on, Mac.
That's actual shit. That's actual shit in my toilet. It exists.
You're kidding me.
I might flush it away.
Oh,
Who knows
shit.
where?
Pun
It might
intended.
get flushed away somewhere, but it might get flushed away somewhere. But that shit exists, people, and that's the thing about nihilism. I don't know. They're talking about religious and moral principles for the first part of the definition, but then it also says that nothing in the world has a real exist has nothing in the world has nothing in the world has real existence. So I don't know. I think nihilism pushes it a bit far.
Actually,
I don't believe in religion.
nihilism actually doesn't mean that. I thought it was. I'm reading up now, and it's changing my opinion of it now. Nihilism actually means a form of extreme skepticism in the rejection of fundamental social and political structures. It doesn't actually mean the end of the world or anything. So that's interesting. It doesn't mean the end of everything. Actually, it's actually closely linked to anarchism. So everybody I've spoken about nihilist, me included, I've spoken about it. We've been wrong. It actually means an extreme form of skepticism on a fundamental social and political structure. So is MGTOW itself nihilism? I think it is.
Whatever the official world accepted definition, which I have no fucking clue, nor do I care too much.
No, yeah.
But yeah, the way I see it, nihilism, it's like certain things like religion, even gender roles, which I believe, that there should be, and that there is, a masculine way to do things. But with nihilism, it's probably like, nothing exists.
Well, from the definition I've just read, what Sifu said is true. Hardcore truth is nihilism. It's separating from social structures and governments.
I'm ready to move on from nihilism. I don't know.
It's interesting. No, that was
We could
interesting.
spend. We could probably make a whole episode. We could probably make a whole episode. On nihilism. So I was just gonna move on because we're gonna beat that to death.
Yep.
I'm not in Grantham. In the middle of Ike.
Leicestershire. That's short for Leicestershire. Nottingham,
nearby.
Derby. Oh, so you're
Notts
not
Derby.
far. You're not far. You're not far from me. I'm actually trying to move to not Nottingham. Stafford. This is the other side. And Stafford's pretty big, so.
Notts Derby. Notts Derby. I have no idea about any type.
Yeah, I know where that is.
I'm gonna look up Calvinism now. Calvinism definition.
In the 90s, in Nottingham, it had a 7-to-1 female to male population. So in the 90s in the UK, there was already in Nottingham 7-to-1 females in higher education. Britain was way ahead of you. Way ahead of you.
All right, Calvinism. Calvinism is it's a subset of Protestant, which I don't believe in any religion. So I don't believe in any religion. I don't know about my audience.
No, I don't either.
I don't know about a manly. And I have very good reason. Actually, I have a 3-part reason. If you want to get into, why I don't believe about religion, I can give you 3 points and not have to explain it. Into an endless, endless spiral, endless downward spiral, going into the rabbit hole of religion for fucking 2 hours. I don't need to do that. I don't need to go.
Yeah. There's plenty of other people.
That much depth.
There's plenty of other people that cover it. You can go over to them. They're more knowledgeable and more in depth than we are. So
I'll give you a few concrete reasons why I don't believe in religion. Why I don't think religion is something that anybody should believe. Number 1, it's clearly a man-made concept. Some person, way back in history, the idea popped into their head. Whether they were seeing things.
You did.
Or whether they were seeing things, or whether they wanted people to believe what they were thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they would. That's reason number 1. Reason number 1, that should end it right there. You should be like, yeah, some dude thought about it, and just the fact that some dude thought about it, dude, I believe that that my religion is that every girl I meet should slap my pee-pee on their tongue when we meet. That should be a religious tradition. It's for women when they meet me, they should slap my penis on their tongue repeatedly. They should slap my penis on their tongue repeatedly as part of absolute knowledge. As part of his religion.
Is that the second reason?
That idea.
You got your own religion.
That idea popped into my head. It's my religion. You're gonna open up
the religion of the penis. Yeah. The religion of the penis.
They're gonna open up absolute knowledge. They're gonna open up an absolute knowledge churches with little separate rooms. Instead of confession rooms, instead of a confession room, there's gonna be a pee-pee slapping room. Where
no way. And
that's my religion.
Are you going to have like one of those pub signs that are hanging out there and it's got like a female licking a doorknob?
Why not? We'll have painted glass of pee-pee slapping on tongues.
My reasons, my reasons are not so cold and brilliant as that. Well, it's cool, but not as brilliant. It's basically because religion is a third party, because it teaches you how to believe, and you don't need a religion to believe. I believe there is a higher power. I believe there's a source of creation, whether it's conscious, whether it's not. There's a source of creation. It's something, or consciousness, or whatever it is. We may not be able ever to comprehend it in our lifetime. That's my opinion. But a religion is people telling you what they think it is. When it's your personal journey, when it's everybody else, it's your personal journey to find out what that really is. And you don't need a religion telling you what to do. That's your quote unquote destiny. If there is any destiny in any life, if there is any, it will be that to find out, to realize and connect to the source of all creation. That's my opinion. And you don't need religion to tell you that.
I was gonna branch into part 2.
Go on then. Go ahead, bro.
If you remember the Roman Empire, well, I know you weren't
Do it,
there.
brother. I've looked into it, bro.
But... Okay, so there were multiple emperors. It was, I don't know the exact number. Let's call it 15. There were 15 emperors.
But it's got to be more than that, because at some parts in the Roman history, there's 3 emperors controlling 3 different sections. Certain times, so there's got to be a lot more than that. But carry on, bro.
Well, for the sake of my argument, we'll just use 15.
Yep, agreed.
Okay, so we got Roman Emperor number 1. He supports Christianity. Roman Emperor number 1 says, "I'm all for Christianity. Let's keep Christianity in the mix." And then he dies, or he gets dethroned, or he loses power. And Emperor number 2, Emperor number 2, he comes onto the scene. He was like, you know what, F Christianity, burn all the books, burn all the churches, burn everything, and kill all the believers.
Yeah.
And that's Emperor number 2.
Can't remember who that
and
was.
If Emperor number...
Carry on, bro. I'll think about that.
And if Emperor number 2, if he really wanted to enforce his will that strong, I mean, people do it. People believe, on the DL, or they leave. Either they leave that empire, or they practice, and believe, in secret.
Marcus Aurelius
did it. They practice and believe in secret. So that's why they haven't eradicated it, because if they really wanted to eradicate it, he would take every person, one by one, and be like, "You believe in Christianity?" And if they say yes, he freaking burns them at the stake. And if he says yes, he burns them at the stake. And if the person says no, then he says, "Okay, you can go home. Okay, go home. Have a nice day."
Yeah, that's what happened.
If he did that, there might not be. If he did that, then there might not be Christianity today.
No, see, the reason why I disagree personally with that, Mac, because my understanding of Christianity is that it was worldwide at the time. There's emissaries sent out all over the world, and so even if it did, it would have been a global effort. It would have literally have to been a global effort, and that's why, in my opinion, that's why it got back in. Because when Constantine was coming back to Rome, that's when the Christian priests convinced him to be Christian.
I just gave you um, two of my top reasons,
Yeah. Fair
and
enough.
also I'll give you a third, just to wrap it up. I've never seen God. I've never heard God. I never got a phone call. Never got a voicemail. I never got a phone call. I never got a voicemail. I never got a telegram. I never got nothing. Never saw him in the physical. Never saw him in real life, in the physical, ever. And you know what? People are tuning out. I don't know if they got shit to do. I don't know if they're believers, and they can't listen to me. They're so ingrained, in their religious beliefs. And you know what? It's not my job. It's not my purpose here. It's not my purpose to try to manipulate, and brainwash you and force you and try to force you, to believe a certain thing. You can believe whatever the hell you want. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you this is my legal. I'm just telling you this is my logical deduction.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Now, we don't all have to believe the same thing to reach the same destination. It's facts.
Yeah. So, let's see, we can move on. Yet you cannot deny that there is an inner urge. Here's the thing. I see my life in terms of, my physical condition, my physical health, my money and muscle. I make those videos. I have that title. I have that series title. Money and muscle. It doesn't get much more simple than that. If I'm in good shape, if I'm healthy, and if I'm making a good amount of coins in the piggy bank, I'm doing okay. Money and muscle. And taking action. Having a purpose and taking action. Having a purpose, taking action, having money in the bank, being in good physical shape. That's my
I'm.
simple.
I agree.
Yeah, it's my simple definition for what this full.
I would say the same. I'd say the exact same. Apart from, I'd personally change money to wealth, because wealth could be transferred to anything.
Yeah, you can have a wealth of knowledge. You can
Yep.
have a wealth
Yep.
of you can have a wealth of paper money. You can have a wealth of real estate. You can have a wealth of real estate, which is
Hmm.
honestly, real estate is the best wealth that you can have,
At the moment, yeah.
and it can be taken away from you anyway.
True.
Because if we lived,
It's like it's like the stock market, in it. You gotta sell it off before you lose.
if we lived in pre-civilization, somebody could just run up to your land. Somebody could just walk up to your land, and take that shit.
They can, yeah, with a gun.
Back when it was sticks and stones, and before bow and arrows even. Back in those days, just think about the alpha lion. Think about the alpha lion. Think about the alpha gorilla. The two alphas fight. The two contenders fight. The alpha that's still left standing, he gets the land, he gets the resources, and he gets the women.
But also, he doesn't
And you
leave
can
the
even lump the women.
he doesn't leave the loser out to die. He's still
You
part
can
of the
even.
clan.
Oh, sometimes they'll fight to the death.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Lions will
of
fight to the
course.
death.
No,
Lions will fight to the death.
on rare occasions, on very rare occasions,
I think
they won't.
I think
Yeah,
the ancient. I
because
think
then
the silver. I think the silverbacks fight to the death too.
yeah, they do. Not on every occasion, because it's all about submission. And
I'm talking about.
if they won't submit, the only other option is death. So
I'm talking about like apex predators.
yeah, no, yeah, it's nature.
Apex predators.
They're
They
dumb.
fight to the death.
The
Apex predators fight to the death. Where if you're an apex predator, you have to be the man. You have to be the man. Like you have to run the harem. And
Yeah,
I've seen,
and
I've seen
and you
gorilla tribes.
and you have to fight off
I've
other
seen
predators as
lions.
well as your own tribe. Because
I've seen
Sorry, carry on.
I've seen mega prides. They call them mega prides. They
I've
call them
heard
mega
of that term.
prides.
Yeah, I've heard
You
of
know
the term. Have
where
a look.
you know where where the lions they somehow have an understanding that they're not going to just kill each other. The lions have a mega pride, maybe of 30 lions, and multiple males, and somehow these lions they have this understanding that they're not going to just fucking wake up one day and start killing each other till there's one man standing.
Wow.
They're not going to start. They have these mega prides with 30 lions, and they maintain it, and it's not like they're I don't know if they're scheming on. I don't think that they're scheming on each other, thinking, one day, maybe a week from now, I'm just gonna go fucking ballistic.
You know what it
One week,
sounds to me? It sounds
one
to
week
me
from now,
like,
I'm just gonna go fucking ballistic and just kill the whole tribe and keep all the women for myself.
yeah, it's just a bunch of families
You
working together, isn't it? If you think about
Who
it.
knows?
It is, as you just said the key word there, tribe. It's close to a tribe of lions because it's a bunch of families working together to survive. And they don't, as you say, they don't wake up and kill each other because they're working together. They're hunting packs. They migrate and hunt together.
I've seen a tribe of gorillas, and you have the fat beta gorilla. The fat beta gorilla.
Yeah, there's always one of them, man.
And then you got the jacked. Then you got the jacked cock diesel. What do you call it? What's it called? The alpha. You got the jacked alpha gorilla, and you got the fat beta gorilla who's just sitting there like, yeah, you know what?
Eats all the
I'll
food.
keep eating. Like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll keep eating these bananas. You can fuck all the bitches over there. I'm okay. I'm okay here. With these bananas. He's probably plotting and scheming. He's waiting. He's waiting for the one day, that the alpha like waiting for the one day, that the alpha twists his ankle, or he fucking or something happens.
Yeah, but as soon as that happens, someone else takes over. And it's actually like if you look in zoos and it happens in zoos and these animals. Because man, I watches a lot of animal shows. I know it's not nature, but in the confined spaces in the zoos, when the alpha gets an injury, it's extremely hard for them to take the throne back. It's normally the end of their reign when they get an injury, like a serious one.
That's something to think about because lions. Imagine you're an alpha lion and you win, but he bit you like he chomped on you. You know, I mean, like he chomped three good.
Yeah, yeah,
He got three good chomps on you. You know, so
yeah. And then the next one in line will seize the opportunity because they're not as social and developed as us. So they'll just see the opportunity and take it because they're in their low form animal beast low chakra because that's all them available capable of doing.
yeah.
They're 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 forced into instinct, and so that injury, the next one will take a line, and then it'll be the battle for when the other one recovers because the alpha's just too fucked.
Yeah.
It's very brutal out there in the world, man. It's not as clear cut. Like the alphas have short range. People don't realize that. It's very brutal.
Yeah, the alpha lion.
Yeah, they have very short range.
The well, I'm gonna give you some statistics right now. I heard from like a nature show, from like wildlife, like National Geographic.
Yeah,
They say the
yeah.
alpha lion. Come on, bro. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you the fucking fact here, bro. Can you just listen to me? Can you just
I'm
listen?
listening, man. I'm listening.
Okay. So National Geographic statistic. I'm trying to tell you is like 2 or 3 years. Um, is the average rain for an alpha lion.
Wow, so that's longer than what I thought. I thought it would have been 6 months to a year. Twice as long as what I thought it was. How old do lions live for on average? Wild lions? Does it tell you?
Thinking 10 years, if you 10, 15 years, maybe.
Yeah. So would you assume that obviously these male lions are obviously just raw in the prime of their life? Got to be in it. They've got to wait to the
Oh, I was gonna
prime until
say,
they can. Yeah.
we got time, but let's call it at an hour 30. At an hour
Hey man,
30, let's because I always do this. I always go past the mark. I don't know if I'll be tired in an hour 30, but like I don't know, man. Cause like who knows? I'm not tired right now, but I don't want to get stuck and stuff, keep pushing through,
well
but for now,
we can finish your
but for
subject and then
now,
call it if you want.
no. But well, for now, I'll call it at an hour 30, and who knows?
All right then.
Till you arrive at no pills. Like I said, I heard of a white pill, a gold pill, which which aren't even the widely accepted ones. Um, blue pill, purple pill, red pill, and black pill. Those are the widely accepted talked
Hmm.
about ones. You know. Then there's pink pill, dog pill, which I taught the audience
Yeah, I think the
what the dog
closest one
pill.
would be the closest one in the mainstream would be the purple pill, wouldn't it? Maybe,
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing.
maybe.
Black pill, black pill. Honestly, I think it's kind of new in relation because the red pill was a it branched off of the Matrix,
Hmm.
and so the blue and red came from the Matrix. The purple, they were probably like, well, if you're kind of mixed, in between, if you're into PUA and you're not hardcore red, like, here's the thing, and this might be a black pill. This might be, it's more of a red pill. You have to sell women, fantasies, and dreams. This is actually, this is actually, in the 48 laws of power, play on people's need to believe, in fantasies. and stuff like that. I can look up the quote, but but that's but that's a 48 law. That's one of the 48s. I'm gonna look it up right now. 48 laws fantasy. 48 laws fan. Just see. Law number 32. No, actually, is it 32? Yeah, law number 32. Play to people's fantasies. There might be more to it, but so when you're interacting with women, to keep things, to keep their pussy wet, keep their pussy, um, moist, keep their pussy moist. They have to be in their emotions, and they have to be in their fantasies. Or they could just see 6'5" Giga Chad.
Yeah.
Or
That's
they
still
it
emotion.
could be
There's
in their
still basic emotion.
no, that's not an emotion. Like me, like honest. I mean, yeah, I guess you could say. Well, that's more instinct. That's instinct because. And
Yeah, yeah.
TFM broke this up. TFM broke
It's
this up.
lust.
There's
It's
three
lust.
tiers. There's three tiers. Yeah, it's lust. There's three tiers of human response, or of human interpretation, or of human function. Human function. Whatever. It's instinct, um, logic, and and emotion. Instinct, logic, emotion. The instinct, dude. Dude, I see a nice pair of titties.
Oh
I see a
yeah,
nice pair of titties.
I'm a boob
The
man. So yeah, yeah.
I don't think that's emotional.
Hey, you little shit. Sorry, not you. Cat scratched me, little fucker, by accident.
I think it's more instinct. And logically, I would say, logically, she's a good-looking specimen. Logically, she's a good-looking specimen because she has big tits. Whatever else. There's big tits, fat ass, wide hips, nice thick thighs, pretty
I like
face,
I like thighs
etc.,
and
etc., etc.
good thighs and big tits.
Nice big old ass. You could fucking bend over and fucking start fucking pounding that shit. But anyway, so that's instinct and that's logic. There's not too much emotion about it, but women run on these emotions. Meanwhile, let's face it. Let's face it. If the bitch is starving, you think I'm trying to sell her fantasies? If we're both starving in the the wilderness, you think I'm trying to tell her stories and fairy tales,
Hmm.
and shit like that.
But some people can. The gift of the gab. Not a lot of people, though. You're right. Except, some people. They're good at fucking bargaining people at stores. Some people are good at doing that with women. Most of them become PUAs.
Well,
I mean, I say I'm talking about the exceptional case. I do agree with you.
let's see. See what my subscriber count's at. I just lost 2. I lost any more. No, I didn't. So this whole idea of playing to a woman's emotions, making her fantasize, it's actually a law of power. because if you stimulate her mind, stimulate her mind, and you stimulate her emotions, you know, I might get the vag wet, a little bit.
I think what it is women live in a fantasy. A lot of them do. I mean, a lot of men do too. But in this instance, we're talking about women. So well, a lot of they live in this fantasy. So you're sort of gotta try and mimic and fulfill this role that she's conjured up in her head. And like on the heat of the moment when they're going out at night, they want this Prince Charming, they want this and whatnot, and they find this person who resembles most likely to fulfill that feeling of codependency of having this Prince Charming for that one night, and so they have this brief one night encounter
Sandman
or couple
talked
nights
about
together
that.
with woman. Yeah.
Sandman talked about that. There's Mr. Right, and there's Mr. Right now.
Yeah. That's a way better way of putting it.
Mr. Right,
Mr. Right now.
who's Prince Charming. Mr. Right, Mr. Right is Prince Charming. Mr. Right now is
Yeah,
probably the alpha bad boy.
hang on.
So Mr. Right would be the Prince Charming. Mr. Right now, probably that alpha bad boy. As you met in the club.
It proves that there's nothing new under the sun.
And she still
Everybody's
thinks, and she still thinks, that the Prince Charming is out there. She
oh
still
yeah,
thinks she still thinks that Prince Charming is gonna pop out of nowhere, and sweep her off her feet.
and if they ever swallow that black pill, the truth of that they might be too far gone for 'em, man. You'll see
They think
nihilism.
they're gonna get swept off their
Yeah,
feet
you'll see nihilism like you've never seen it.
in Me Too world. In Me Too era, they think they're gonna get swept off their feet without consent.
Without consent.
Dude, I have never asked a woman for consent. I've never verbally asked. Maybe for certain things, if I was like, hey, I'm trying to put in your butt,
Mhm.
and then maybe I'd be a little bit, then maybe I'd be a little bit verbal, about that.
Yeah, personally, when that stuff happens to me, I mean, I got nothing against that at all. But I mean, when that's happened to me, firstly, the woman's asked me to do it. Maybe that's a bad reflection of my choice of woman, or maybe a good one. I don't know.
Oh, here's the thing. Have you ever heard? Have you ever heard? Have you ever heard that communication? Like only 7% is the actual words. Like I think about half or more. I think more than half is like is body language.
Oh yeah. Isn't it almost 70% or something like that? Over 70% is like body language or something like that, or
I forget the
60%.
exact numbers.
Yeah, it's quite high. It's like a lot of it. Because I looked into body. I've learned it all and forgot a bit of it. But I suppose I subconsciously know it all. And if I see someone behaving, I'm like, oh, I know that pattern. Oh, that's well, I learned that. But I looked into body language a few years back, and I got to the point where I could detect people lying. When I actually don't know. I suppose depression and ostracism from society, and it all affected me weirdly. And here I am today.
So it's body language. I gotta look up body language and tonality, and then the actual words.
Yeah. And there's also how the body naturally normally reacts as well, like uh not as in body movement because people control that, but like how the pupils dilate and how people sweat because you can't control that stuff. And like you can actually see if someone's controlling their breathing. If it's too relaxed, if it's controlled, if you know it's controlled, then you can either figure out two things: that one, they're a professional talker and they're relaxed and calm state, or two, they're doing it to hide something. So then you gotta go through all the different processes, and then you gotta investigate more because even though body language can be very revealing, it's still not 100% the truth. Because like, say if someone's at a bus stop crossing their arms, like it's not because they're worried or concerned. It could be because they're bloody cold, you know. And you can find that
Yeah,
out
well, back
because
to
you know it's cold, so you do that through speech.
yeah, well, with the body language thing too. If
Yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah,
if
yeah.
you're
You gotta.
if you're um if you're super giga chad, if you're if you're the giga chad of giga chads, your body language. Chances are, you think about Giga Chad. Chances are he's not. Chances are Giga Chad. He's not slouching. He's not slouching. And even if he is, if he's like 6'5", he could probably get away. But then again, you got to think like, something like slouching or having a high pitched voice, or
Mhm.
slouching.
If
Uh,
if you haven't got the bank account, yeah, that'll go against you.
yeah, goofiness, doofiness, different types of stuff. It can all work against you. And then the thing that can work for you, is better posture. Does it work for you? Obviously, run down the list. Stand up straight. Um, have a deeper tonality. Shit like this. And then of course and then of course have a way with words. And of course, if you really want to get them drawers, you got this Don Juan way with words. I say fuck all that bullshit because female validation. Because I'll be honest, female validation means diddly squat to me. I don't need to come up with all these smooth phrases and because here's the thing: if you want to bang it, if you want to fuck a woman, you know what you got to do? You got to lie to her.
Mhm.
You got to deceive her. You gotta come with the right. Gotta come with the. You gotta come with the right vibes, the right emotional stuff, and you gotta simp a little bit. People don't realize this unless you're dealing with a complete slore that you're gonna bang, within like 15, 20 minutes because you're Chad, which I've done. Unless you're banging a complete slore that you're gonna bang within like 15 minutes, um, you gotta simp a little bit. You gotta give her those, you know, those, those good feelings, which are pointless, which is pointless to me. And actually, if you're Giga Chad, you can give it the whole, you can make her feel happy, sad, she'll laugh,
Mhm.
she'll cry, and she'll come. You gotta give her these, you give these, these full range, these full range, of emotions. She'll laugh, she'll cry, she'll come. She'll laugh, she'll cry, she'll come. Who knows? What does Ric Flair say? Kissing the girls, and making them cry. That's what Ric Flair does.
I don't even give him the time of day personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. To me, it's not even fucking worth it. Why am I gonna waste my time trying to make a girl laugh, trying to make her girl cry, trying to make her girl come? I could just be making money out here.
Mhm.
And that's a good note to leave it on. I don't know if you wanted to add anything else. If you had a closing, that's a good night. That's a good MGTOW note. It's a good
Yeah,
note,
I
in general.
think it is. And that all accompanies the spiritual awakening of the truth and the red pill.
Sorry to the audience if I didn't get to your comment. I stayed on a few comments for a little extra time. If I was in like a 3-hour stream, I would have got to them all. But anyway. But anyway, I'm about to wrap this thing up. I don't know if Manly wants to add yet something else or make a closing or you can advertise his channel. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I said 1 hour 30. We still got like 3.5 minutes, like 3 minutes left. So
I
if Manly wants
suppose
to,
yes, was if you don't know, my channel's been going through a bit of stress recently, so I appreciate for the listeners who sub to me that subscribe to my backup. It's linked on my homepage. It's on my trader video. So support my backup because I don't know how long my main channel will be along. I've only got a small 100 subs, but it is what it is. And thanks, Mac, for having me on the show, man. It's been a pleasure, like always. So thanks for the invite.
yeah,
You know, you can invite me in if I'm free on free, bro. More about the red pill.
definitely, we'll definitely do it again. We'll definitely do it yet again. Make her laugh, make her cry, make her come, or do none of the above, and just stack that money. Or do none of the above and stack some money. It's very hard to do all four.
Build up on your wealth.
It's very hard. It's very hard to do all four.
Your inner and outer wealth.
Fuck all that emotional shit. Stack that money. Stack that money and fuck these hoes to sleep. And I'm out. Stack that money, fuck these hoes to sleep. We out.